Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character questionnaire by me. So let's get into it. Lyney. Lyney can be very shy sometimes. It was not a side that he often saw within himself, or even noticed. But it was something that was very easy to see with you. Something that happened much more often than it usually should. Much more often than he thought it ever would. So, of course, he came to notice that. And it was a little bit embarrassing to see how often he would blush over the most regular things. But this was no regular incident or something that he expected to happen at all. This was no kiss or make-out session or anything at all. It was him walking in on you and seeing you in your undergarments for the first time. You were actually getting changed and you didn't tell him, and you left the door to your room unlocked. So he walked in, thinking that you were outside. And usually he would knock, even if he thought of that, but he was just in a hurry to grab something and go. And then he saw you, holding a t-shirt, and nothing but your undergarments. And he stared, blushing brightly. And it didn't help that you were staring right back at him, your eyes very wide, as the two of you could not even decide on what to do. And you were quiet for a little bit, silent, before he just stopped softly, looking down and away from you. Well, I didn't expect to see this one, he said, and he laughed softly. I didn't expect to see you come here either. And you didn't knock, so it's not my fault. Now turn away. I have already turned away. Turn away more, you tell him. And he's chuckling, but he does what you ask. And you get dressed, then wrap your arms around him, hugging him close. You're not really mad at him, or would have any capacity to be anyway. He could never make you upset, and you know that. You're just a little bit surprised by all of this. But most of all, you're just happy that he didn't make it more embarrassing than it had to be. It was already as messy as it was, and if he had acted any other way, you would have probably gotten very embarrassed. But the two of you just laughing it off and ignoring that it happened, and even if you did not ignore it entirely, or just chill about it, you knew things would not be as embarrassing as they would be had it happened any other way. And that's why you're so grateful for Lyney. He always knew what the right thing to do was, and you could always count on that with him. You kiss his cheek then, and he smiles. Are you sure you had to put the shirt on? Oh, stop it. Don't be a pervert now. Besides, I saw your face. You were brighter than a tomato. You tell him, teasing, and you laugh softly, telling you that you're too charming for him not to blush, and too beautiful too. He just knew the way around to your heart, and you would always have the words to be able to get there. That was something you were quite sure of. Xiao? Xiao was very shy compared to anyone, especially to Lyney here. So, he had no idea what to do once he was in the situation. But what got him in that situation in the first place was because he was outside and got tired, and then he teleported straight up into your room. Both of your room. The two of you share a room now. And it was beautiful. It was something he liked and was comfortable with, but he had never seen you in undergarments. The two of you have not taken things very far. And despite sleeping in the same bed, you are very innocent with what you did. Just cuddling, for the comfort of having another in your arms, and for the joy of seeing the other in the morning as soon as you wake up. That alone made the decision very easy, even though he was quite nervous about it, and it took him a long time to actually get comfortable just sleeping next to you, So you knew you'd have to be slow with many other things, and he did not mind that. Frankly, you were okay with it. You understood him, and you knew things were more complicated for Xiao than they would be for you. So, him being able to do things at his own pace was something that he knew was very essential. And that's why, precisely, you had decided to not force any new changes or things that he would not like very early on. Except, the situation was not on your hand now. He was the one who teleported to the room, and he was the one who saw you in your undergarments in this way. Um, Lion, he muttered. He seemed very nervous, and he was staring, his eyes wide, and you laughed a little bit seeing his expression before hiding. You weren't even that embarrassed. You knew Xiao did not have those perverted thoughts that you would be often afraid about others having. So there was nothing for you to worry about. But most of all, you knew that this would not be something that you would easily forget. Xiao, darling, I promise. This is perfectly fine and happens, especially if you live with someone and share the same room, so you've got nothing to be worried about or embarrassed about. So, maybe you shouldn't be so nervous. You tried to tell him, but he won't even look your way. He seemed beyond embarrassed, looking away from you. And that's why you had to head over to him, wrapping your arms around him gently and kissing his cheek. He was stiff at first, his face bright red, to a funny point, really. It was adorable. He was adorable in every way that you could think of. But that was not the point at the moment. The point was to get him to be comfortable, and you knew that would not happen so easily. So, as you kept on holding him, you tried not to tease him before letting him go, and eventually, giving him his own space and some time, it was easy for him to get over it. And you were glad for that. You were worried that it would take much longer, like how you got shy the first time that you kissed. But that was another topic for another day.